The Yellowstone Caldera is vast, 45 miles across and 30 miles wide. You could fit over 60 islands of Manhattan in this area. There are deep canyons like this one over the Yellowstone River that reveal a complex geologic history. And forested landscapes and hydrothermal features remind us that this special place is constantly changing. The broad expanse of the caldera presents a challenge for monitoring seismic, volcanic, and hydrothermal activity. Where should monitoring stations go? Sometimes the best locations are close to roads. Sometimes they are in remote areas of the park.
Welcome to the White Lake GPS site. It's one of the most important GPS stations in all of Yellowstone National Park.
The White Lake GPS station is on the Sour Creek Resurgent Dome within Yellowstone Caldera. This is a raised area of the caldera floor that formed shortly after the last massive explosive eruption, when the ground was pushed upward by magma accumulating beneath the surface. Even after the dome formed, it still moves quite a bit, rising and falling by an inch or so per year. Since 2015, the dome has been subsiding or sinking. During the summer of 2024, the White Lake Station went offline. The larger network of dozens of GPS stations in the region, including others on the Sour Creek Dome, continued to collect data, but repairing the White Lake Station was important. It had a very long history, and it is located near the core of the dome. Unfortunately, the site requires a helicopter to access, and there hadn't been a chance to visit until September 2025. That's when a field team from the USGS and the EarthScope Consortium flew out to the site to conduct repairs. The engineers found that water had corroded the antenna cable, so that had to be replaced. And in addition, they took the opportunity to perform some upgrades. They added weather sensors and also converted the communications from an older radio link to a new cellular system. This will allow for a stronger connection and the ability to stream higher rate data if needed. The White Lake GPS station is now back online with data flowing once again, and the data indicate that the subsidence of the caldera has continued, following the trend of the past decade. Now that the repairs are done, let's talk about what happened in terms of earthquake activity, ground deformation, and geyser activity over the past month in the Yellowstone region. It was another average month in terms of earthquake activity in the Yellowstone region. The University of Utah seismograph stations located 85 events during the month of September. The largest was a magnitude 3.3. It occurred on September 28th, and that was just to the south of Mammoth Hot Springs, where a small swarm occurred right at the end of September. This area between Hebgen Lake and Norris Geyser Basin is where we see most of the seismicity in any given time in the region, so not too surprising that we'd have some seismicity there. Looking now at ground deformation, this is vertical deformation at the station near Lake on the Sour Creek Resurgent Dome, not too far from the White Lake Station. This whole plot spans 2 years, and each one of these blue dots is 1 day of data. Downward trends are subsidence or sinking, and upward trends are uplift. Since 2015, the whole caldera has been subsiding at a rate of about an inch or so per year, but it's interrupted in the summer months by a pause in that subsidence or a little bit of uplift due to changing groundwater conditions. You can see late 2024 into early 2025 there was subsidence, and we've seen a little bit of uplift during the summer months, so the trends of the past decade are continuing in terms of ground deformation. Finally, looking at the tallest geyser in the world, Steamboat Geyser in Norris Geyser Basin. This is the temperature measured in the outflow channel during the month of September, and these daily up and down variations are just daily temperature variations. There isn't much minor activity from the geyser, maybe a little bit here around September 20th to 23rd, 24th, but really nothing to suggest that a major eruption is on the way, so Steamboat remains somewhat quiet. Not everything is quiet at Norris. Valentine and Guardian geysers have been erupting since August and into September. Valentine's eruptions have been the first in about 20 years. And a new steam vent opened across the park at Mud Volcano. Just a big fumarole that's putting out a little bit of water as well. Pretty interesting and fun activity in the Mud Volcano area, Yellowstone being Yellowstone.
Well, that does it for the monthly update. If you have any questions at all, feel free to email us. Our address is yvowebteam, all one word, at usgs.gov. Stay safe, stay healthy, and we will see you next month. Bye-bye.